been 3 weeks. 4 weeks, yeah. I'm back. The Machiavellian is back. I know, I'm sorry for the lack of uploads. I've been literally dead stressed because I've left high school. Well, I've left it 3 weeks ago. I've had parent problems. And I've just been through bad shit, really bad shit. Whoever's going to be watching this, who's one of my close friends, you know what's happening. You know what's gone on. So, right. Sorry for my hiatus. I'm back. I'm gonna try do weekly uploading again. Not guaranteeing, but I'll let my Twitter know because I'm most active on Twitter now. The Instagram and the Snapchat are still up. So there you go. Alright, tonight's video was suggested by you guys. 3 weeks ago's poll, alongside what life's going to be like in 20 years. Personally, I wanted that to win and not breakups, because breakups, it's something difficult to write about, dead difficult. But, well, I'm going to try. So, if you know what I've been saying, this is the last video of this series, right? This is the last episode of my deep dive into society. So I hope I give it a great send-off. So here we go. So, breakups. Probably the most hurtful thing anyone can do, what isn't physical, what is more mainly mental. It could happen to anyone, right? Someone who has a good pulling game, or someone who has a shit pulling game. There's always that one thing that goes wrong. They can have a private fling, or something else. And literally, say if they do have a private fling, yeah, it's literally like putting salt in open wounds. That shit burns. So I think I've opened a video, and I'll continue. So breakups can do loads of damage. It all depends on the circumstances and factors. Say you fucked your girl, right? Yeah, no problem. And broke up with her the next day. As an example, not because the shagging were bad, but because you literally wasn't feeling it. You didn't feel it. You didn't feel it with that person. So you split. Painful, but not necessarily. So everything's fine. She's giving you verbals, yeah? You've done that wrong. And she says, yo, you're just using me for a shag. But you're not. You're trying to say that you're not. But you can just be turned around back on you. And that shit's bad, man. And so she get abused physically and mentally, and it's not needed. That's why sex in an unstable relationship, bang out of order, especially in your early teenage years, it always ends up in disaster. And I can say that from personal experience. It has. It's either the boy who says no to the girl, or the girl who forces the guy, and you don't like it, he splits, and it kicks off. And more than that. So I want to elaborate into that. So this is, again, another warning for, personal experience. Don't say, it's all cap, it's not. So here we go. So for my personal experiences and some other views, I've been like that kid who takes a while to assess breakups, yeah. Because sometimes I just see them as, what's the point? It's not needed at all. It's just there. It just happens, and there's no need for it. So I take a good fair few days to reset back to single life, but everyone's like that. And once you're in it, you find that'll piss easy, man. It's like having that fear of the unknown, the natural fear of the unknown. Because you don't know what's going to happen next. Is someone going to have a pop at you, or are you going to be fine? So, when you know you love someone, and you think they love you back, and you get heartbroken because your partner's cheating or something else, then you know you can't do anything about it. And it's knowing that emotion, it just digs in, man. Not into the wounds, salt baying that shit. I've made these points in another video. I'll leave that link below along with the playlist. So, yeah, mention that. To be fair, this video's been a short one because I literally don't want to go too deep into this because I actually can't say much about it except from my recent times, good 2 years. And what I've already said in the previous video, because that's why I didn't want this to win in the poll. I've already said most of this shit in the previous video. So I'm sorry this is short, and it's probably not a good send-off, but I might bring this back for season 2 if that's what people want. Yeah, and as it says in the title, I've got one of my best mates, Feel Good Soundtrak, to do this part.
So I've been through some breakups in my 16 years of life. Some have taught me lessons, some have been completely worthless and have taught me absolutely nothing, and about 1 or 2 have made me really upset. Some people deal with breakups differently. Some people bottle up the feelings, some people get angry and decide to take their anger out on someone else, or, more harmfully, on themselves. And some people continue to romance over this person, writing songs and poems and hoping that one day something miraculous will happen. Personally, I'm a hopeless romantic, so I never get over things and continue to obsess over people. However, one thing that is important to note about a breakup is that there's always something to learn from them. There's always some reason that you broke up. Maybe you weren't good enough. Maybe you chose the wrong person. Or maybe you were just a complete dick. Whatever it was, there was always a lesson to be learned from it, and that's what's important to remember. When you're going through a tough spot in a breakup, or you know you could just get a punching bag and endlessly beat the shit out of it until you feel better. I remember once I went out with a girl at least 8 times. I never learned my lesson, and every time they asked me out again, I foolishly said yes. I can never say I was so desperate for something I thought I needed that I couldn't stop myself. In the end, I had to stop it because it was destroying me, putting myself through all the mental trauma. If you think that a relationship you are in is wrong, try to get yourself out of it before it's too late and you've done something you regret. Also, on the other side of the equation, don't dive into a relationship expecting it to end. Don't constantly break up with people just because you're bored. You gain a reputation of being this complete arsehole and you'll never find a partner. Finally, I want to finish my segment by saying a few more things. There was this one girl that I completely obsessed over for like a solid year and a half. I loved this girl with all my heart and my soul. Nobody other than me knew about it for about a year and a half. When I finally did tell someone, it was my best friend. They helped me realise that I just had to go for it and ask her out. Did she say yes, you might ask? Did she? Fuck. But I felt a hell of a lot better after asking her out and getting it out of a dark place that it was in. Overall, my concluding message would be smart. Don't dive into something you don't believe will work. Don't stand for something that isn't working. Don't bottle up your feelings. Do what's best for you. Tell someone you trust and get it out of your system. And on that note, Ashy, you can have your video back.
Thanks, Tyler, for hopping on the video. Been great working with you. That was Feel Good Soundtrak, people. I've been the Machiavellian, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.